So recently I got to participate in a middle ground video about parenting. Now you may be familiar with middle ground videos. They bring two groups of people together who have opposing viewpoints and they allow them to discuss those viewpoints. Well, I was invited to partake in one of these videos about parenting, and the topic of the video is strict parents versus free range parents. And I was on the strict parents side of the discussion. Now, I wouldn't consider myself a super strict parent. If this is the scale of strictness versus free rangeness, I would probably land somewhere over here. I wouldn't consider myself a super strict parent, but I also wouldn't consider myself a free range parent either. So what I want to do here is do a little pre-video release analysis of the video. The video has not come out yet as of this day of me making this video, but when it does come out, I'll make sure to put the link in the description below so you can watch it. First of all, I want to say that overall it was a great experience. I enjoyed being a part of this video. I want to say thank you to Jubilee Media for allowing me to come out and participate. When I first arrived, it was a bit concerning because this is the filming location. Yes, I was wondering if I was in the right spot. But I did see some snacks and some coffee set up, so I figured this must be it, and indeed it was. And it was just a big empty warehouse like you see in the videos. There was no heat, so it was a bit chilly, but we made it just fine. As far as the video goes, the first thing they did was brought us in individually and did a short interview with each person by themselves. After that, they brought us all together and did the standard format of their middle ground videos. If you know how it works, they take all of us and push us to the back, each on our respective sides, and then the moderator will read a statement. And if you agree with that statement, you walk forward and discuss. And after the people who agreed with the statement would walk forward, those who disagreed would also walk forward and also discuss. And when those who disagree come forward, that's when things, of course, get a little more juicy, and that disagreement kind of flies. But if you're looking for a lot of juiciness in this video, this middle ground video, you're probably not going to find a whole lot, because I think we found middle ground on a lot of the things that we talked about. We may have come at it from a little bit of a different perspective, but overall, I think we found a middle ground on many things. But it did get a little bit heated when they brought up the subject of spankings. I was the only person that went forward, the only person that agreed with this statement, and I was able to share some reasons I agreed with that statement. And afterwards, the others came, but it wasn't all of the others. Only 3 of the 5 other people that were there came forward to disagree with me. 2 people decided they weren't going to participate at all in this particular question for this particular topic. They didn't want to agree or disagree. They just wanted to be left out of it. I found out why later. The reason, at least one of them told me that they did agree with spanking and that she did spank her kids, but she was concerned that if she would come out publicly about that and talk about that it would negatively affect her business. And so she wasn't willing to come out and talk about that issue. And I was kind of upset about that, to be honest with you, because here I was being thrown to the lion's den, and this other woman who agreed with me wasn't willing to talk about it, but that's another subject. And so there's a little bit of heat there. I got a little worked up. I'm not sure how that came across. I hope I didn't come across too angry, but I did feel like I was being attacked a little bit, and so you know how that is sometimes. But we didn't find any middle ground on that one. And even the moderator says, okay, we're not going to find any middle ground on this one. Let's move on. And so we did. I will say I was a little disappointed with the geographic diversity of the group. I would have liked to see people from more parts of the United States. Everybody was from a big city except for me. Nobody from really like a rural area. And maybe it's hard to find people from that kind of area. I guess I could understand that. But it would have been nice to get some more points of view from different places throughout the country rather than just LA, because 4 of the people there were from LA, which I understand that. That's close by. It's easier to get those people. And one lady was from New York City. And then it was me, who I'm from a kind of suburban area. So that would have been nice to see, but that's okay. Also, for the people that were on my side, I was the only person who had more than one child. And so, not that it's bad to have one child. I'm not, of course, I always encourage people to have more children. But if you only have one child, and especially that child's really young, you still don't have a lot of experience when it comes to parenting. And even if you have one child and that child is older, you're not having the experience of children with different personalities and who have different needs. And so I think it would have been better to have people who had more children, more experience. But it was still good. It was still neat to hear what they had to say. I'm not saying that their input wasn't valuable, but I think it would have been nice to have some people on the strict end who have more experience with parenting than the ones that were there. But not that they weren't nice people, and it was nice to hear their perspective and what they had to say. What I did find funny about the whole experience is I found myself agreeing with one of the ladies on the other side more than with anybody else. And that was the lady who had 8 children. She also is a Christian. She has actually an amazing testimony of how the Lord saved her out of a terrible abuse and a drug addict past, and both her parents had died. And so it was a really inspiring story that she told us that she wasn't able to tell on camera because, that's not what the video was about. But she told us about her story, and it was really cool to hear about that. But she said some things that I pretty much agree with. I can't remember if I really disagree with anything that she said. And so that was interesting that I more agreed with her than people on my side, but that's just the way the video was. They gave us 5 statements to react to, I think. There may have been one more. I can't remember if there was one more. And I tried to write them down from memory. I may not have them exactly right, but the 5 statements are this. Number 1, children should be trusted to make their own decisions. Agree or disagree. Number 2, children should be allowed to have their own private spaces. Or children should be allowed to have privacy, something like that. Number 3, a parent should be a parent and not a friend. Number 4, spanking is an acceptable form of punishment. And number 5 was something along the lines of, I often fear that I'm not being a good parent, or I'm not parenting right, or something like that. I can't remember exactly how the question was worded. So I'm not going to comment on each of these because you can watch the video when it comes out and see what I had to say. Also, after the video comes out, I'm going to make another video that just kind of analyzes and maybe clears some things up, because I did feel like sometimes I said some things that now that I think back, I'm like, you know what, I wish I wouldn't have said it that way, or I wish I wouldn't have said that. When the camera's on and the lights are on and everybody's looking at you and you're trying to articulate what you want to say, sometimes it just doesn't come out the way you want it to come out. And so I felt like that was some of the case when I was there speaking. Not all the time. I think for the most part, I got across the ideas that I wanted to get across. And I hope that I did that in such a way that it's going to be a blessing to people who watch it. Maybe that will encourage them to raise their children in a godly and biblical way. That's what I really hope will happen with this video. I do want to say that all in all, it was a great experience. I would definitely do it again. If you ever get a chance to be in one of these videos, I'd say take it. It's pretty cool. Neat experience. People are super nice. Jubilee was super nice. Of course, I'm saying this before the video comes out. I hope they don't make me look like a monster. I hope I don't come across in a mean-spirited way or in a arrogant way. I sure hope not, but we will see when the video comes out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button, also the little bell to be notified of any future videos that are going to come up. If you do that, you'll be ready for when I respond to the video when it comes out. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.